Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, UFC Fight Night in Belfast. Kevin Lee, sir, thank you very much for joining me.
Yes,
You're
sir.
taking on Mustafa.
Yeah. I can't pronounce. I've known for 8 weeks about this fight, and I can't pronounce the man's name.
Now,
he's one of the fucking Russians with all them consonants. This shit don't make sense.
You know where he's
to me.
from?
Yeah.
Is he from Ireland as well?
No, he's from fucking Russia. The cold winters. Ugly hairdos apparently, and
you got
they still rocking the bowl cuts up there, I guess.
You've got a good style there, sir. Is this what you're rocking for the trip here? Your haircut? Is this what you're
Oh yeah. I try my best. I'm gonna go in out of one of these pubs and see if they can give me a quick razor blade.
I want to get it smooth.
Yeah,
okay.
okay. That going on.
Smooth it up.
Yeah, I got mine. I got mine trimmed the other day, man. I got mine yesterday. So look, your last fight.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful comeback. Get yourself on that win streak. This fight here, you say you've been training for 8 weeks. What's been going on for you in general, though? Just as in a fighter, how have you been developing and growing yourself?
Yeah, this one's all mental. You know what I mean? Because the last time I had a fight like this, where you look at us on paper, this would be my 9th UFC fight. This would be this kid's 3rd. I think I'm better in all areas. I'm obviously a better wrestler. I'm faster, stronger. The last time I had a fight like this was that Leo fight, where I felt I was gonna just blow the guy out the water. And so this one will show how much I've grown mentally, that I can still stay engaged and still respect the guy. I just didn't respect Leo's power. And, this one, this kid's 13-1. He's got 13 stoppages, only been outside the first round once. So, he's going to be strong. And like I said, them Russian winters are cold. He ain't going to want to go back to that unemployment line. So, he going to fight his heart out. He going to look to fucking put my head off. So,
does that get you going, though?
I'm respecting it, man. I'm respecting it. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I'm realistic about this game.
Yeah.
We fighting in fucking nowhere, Ireland, in front of maybe 10,000 people. I don't know, I've fought in bigger bars than probably, And so this one, even if nobody's watching, I'm gonna still perform like
I'll
a
be
champion.
watching.
Yeah.
I'm in the crowd, so I've got no choice.
Well,
But,
10,001, 10,001, But
no, Mike's only half, so it's
I'm like 1.5. It depends.
Yeah.
She's
10,001 and a half,
She's pretty. She thinks there's double me.
If you get enough Irish whiskey in her,
Oh man, you don't
you'll
need
be
that.
too.
Get her when she's sleeping.
Yeah, do the Bill Cosby.
But this one is just about performing like a champ even when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
And it's gonna really elevate my whole entire game, because physically I could have fought this man as soon as they called me, and all right, bring him over.
Yeah.
Fucking bring him in the cage. I'll whoop his ass right now, So this is just about how well I perform mentally.
Yeah, as I was going to say, because that's what got you into the UFC, what's keeping you there. That Leo fight, you'd like to say it was maybe just a confidence, which is great to have, but is that then going to take a kind of precedence in this fight where you're going to obviously have respect more for the fighter, but have respect for yourself, and because you were doing fine, your combinations were doing perfect, and that's all you need to keep doing, and you start to just take away that gap, and that's what happened. And
the main thing that happened in that fight is I prepared 8 weeks for the guy taking me down and submitting me. He was the best jiu-jitsu guy in the division.
Oh, for fun.
So, the worst thing that happened was I got taken down and I got right back up. He got down and I was like, oh, he isn't strong at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck, this is going to be easy. Like, once we got back to our feet, I was like, fuck, this is going to be easy. And I even tracked down Big John after the fight because I thought it was an early stoppage.
Yeah.
He was at an Invicta event. And I was like, motherfucker, why'd you stop the fight? We almost got into a fight. But he was like, once I got back up, I think everybody in the arena was waiting on the kid to fall, me included. I just was like, okay, well, this is not, you can't take me down. You're not gonna win.
Yeah.
So I just disrespected it. I'm trying to find that balance. I'll say, my first couple UFC fights, I was kind of like a little, I was young, so I was like a little timid. I just was a different fighter.
Yeah.
I say after that Michelle Prazeres fight, I fought Michelle Prazeres, who was like 18-1.
He's a beast.
And I fought him with one eye after like the first minute of the fight, and after that fight, I was like, damn, I could really do this. Then that's when the confidence built. It got better and better, and then it got ahead of me in that fight, and then I toned it down a little bit more. So I'm trying to find that good balance. It all comes with experience.
Yes.
I'm young. I'm 24.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
just turned 24. So you know, I got a lot of years left and a lot of experience to gain.
Yeah, you know exactly
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
You did, yeah.
My birth certificate disagrees, but yeah,
Yeah, I was
24.
going to say, man, because like you say, you're young, you're developing, and it's. I've been following you for a few years back in Europe.
thank you.
I've been promoting you on social media, man, and I saw your last performance. Like, he's back.
Yeah,
You switched
yeah.
on.
Thank you.
You got the attitude right, and you kind of have that killer instinct that I think
Yeah.
that finishing that I knew you had, and you didn't have it lap. So what was it brought this back, man? How did you get that? Like, was it like just going back and assessing, like going, man, I need to get
Yeah,
my
yeah.
attitude in the right frame.
Like I said, I always try and be real with myself, you know. I look at them fights and I'm like, you know, a couple of those fights like Michelle Prazeres or even the one versus Efrain, they be ready to go in the third round. You know, they be ready to get up out of there. And, you know, that's when I kick it on. So I had to look at it and say, okay, what am I doing? You know, am I going off to a slow start? And, you know, and you hear like guys like Donald Cerrone talk about it too, you know, when he's a slow starter. And, you know, you got to start quicker. So I was like, okay, well, obviously I can push the pace. I can push the pace for 3 rounds, you know. That's one of the big things about this fight. This kid's never been to a third round. I've had many, you know, like I know I can. So I got to get right out the gate, push hard, and he'll break somewhere in the second, you know, if he makes it that far, because I'm going to push such a pace because I know that's what I had to start doing is pushing a higher pace and really trying to get the guy up out of there.
Yeah, get that work rate up.
And you know, I come from a wrestling background, so a lot of times you get like, okay, this is a 15-minute fight. You know, I got 15 minutes, and if you put them away, then you put them away. But I've tried to change that mindset and say, fuck that, put them away first, and then if it goes 15 minutes, then it's 15 minutes.
You know
what I'm
you've
saying?
got that in the bag.
Exactly. So
And sometimes-
it's just a switch of mindset.
Sometimes somebody's success can be their own downfall, like, because if it does go, you know, into a second or a third, then they can start questioning themselves, like, well, why is it not over yet? You know,
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
You know, and even though, I mean, they might even still be having success, but the fact that it's going on longer, they think, what am I doing wrong this time? And start to question themselves, you know, and it's that psyche, you know what I mean? It's
especially when they got a lot of finishes in the first round, you know.
That can make it a break you as well, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, especially when they got a lot of finishes early. You know, they you know, I've kind of got the opposite. You know, where I was beating guys later, and I've got to switch it back and go, okay, let me start beating their ass first. You know what I mean? Before waiting until later. You know.
But knowing that you can beat them late, that's a good thing to have. You know, like to know that you can still win a fight late in a fight as well. I mean.
It's like everything.
It's like, you know, it's almost like the third round is almost like, okay, now I'm just gonna get to the end sort of thing. Like, you know.
It's like everything. You know, it's just like that confidence thing. You got to find a good balance. You know, and you know, in this game, that's where the time and the experience comes in. You know, that's why a lot of guys wait until they're 26, 27 before they really kind of hit their peak. You know, you hit your peak physically, but you also hit your peak mentally because you've been in the fight game for 7-8 years, you know, already, so you know where to find those good balances at, and that's one of those things to balance, when to finish and when not to, you know. So you know, you see a lot of guys early with a lot of finishes right out the gate, and then they start getting decisions later, and it's because they change their mindset.
Go on, Will, go ahead.
I don't want to dwell on that loss last December, but I want to know what you learned from the loss, because I was in Vegas in April at 197 when you faced Efrain, and you could tell that it was obviously a hard kind of comeback after that first loss. What kind of did you go through mentally after the loss, and what do you kind of learn from that? Because it was a tough fight. I've seen people, some people say Efrain won it, never in a million years when I was sitting there. Never. Just what were some of the learning things?
You know.
You learned pretty much.
That just was a bitch to deal with, you know what I mean? It took me like a month to do it, and I wanted to get right back in there right away, but it took me like a month before I could really set it aside and like really just be real with myself and say, you know, fuck it, you know, this shit happens, like it doesn't happen to everybody, really. When you know, it's never been somebody in the history of combat sports to go through it undefeated and without a loss, without a bad loss at one or two, and you know, and I don't even see that as a bad loss. I thought I could have kept going. I should have kept going. So, you know, I just had to adjust mentally, you know, and that's, you know, I'm working with Robert Fallis, and that's one of the best things that he does for me is still keep me engaged, still keep me in that mindset, and help me grow mentally than anything, you know, because physically I got it, you know, I'm one of the best athletes I think in this division, so you know, it's just about me growing as a man.
So we're going to see a more mature Kevin Lee every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and this one, I think as well, it's a good fight for you because you get to finish here. You're killing a killer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's great for you as well. You know, when people see that, they might not. They look at him, they'll think, man, Kevin Lee's killing a killer. That's a great thing for you, man.
Yeah, and I'm fighting these tough dudes too. You know, they'll be like the kid Jake Matthews. You know, the kid's only 21. You know,
Yeah,
he'll come back and he'll be a contender.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize it now, but in a few
Yeah.
years he'll be a contender. You know, he'll bounce back. He'll get
yeah.
a lot of quality wins and. He'll be a good contender. And get a kid like Michel Prazeres, you know, that kid was 18-1. He and he just beat and he beat the hell out of him too. The other Brazilian kid, Gilbert Burns. Yeah, and
fight-
everybody was hype on him,
Yeah,
and he
who
beat the
hell
fuck
saw
out
that-
of
Who
him.
the hell saw that happen?
Yeah. Not even me, really.
I didn't even see it going that way.
Michel's tough, but in a few years he's gonna be a contender.
Because
You
you're
know,
starting to get everything, everything's going to click.
yeah, and this kid too. You know, this is only this kid's third UFC
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
so he hasn't been exposed to fans in the UFC
Yeah.
yet. But once he gets up to 8, 9, 10
Yeah.
UFC fights, he's gonna be a contender. So
And you're
I
in the
could
most
take him out
stacked
earlier.
division. You're in the most
Yeah.
stacked division, man. That must kind of for you. You got to mentally kind of put yourself out there a bit more to get noticed.
Yeah.
In the sense
Yeah.
because there's so many people there. It's
Man,
you got to make
it's
sure
hard.
you're going to radar. It's
It's
hard.
hard.
man.
It's fucking
man.
hard,
Just
bro.
results, is it?
Because
Yeah.
you can win 5 in a row,
Yeah.
and it don't get you nowhere near
Yeah.
the top 15.
No, it's fucking hard. You know, you get a guy like Trinaldo. I think Trinaldo's won 7 in a row now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
He's only-
shit,
he's
I don't
only-
even. I barely know who he is. You know, if they called and offered me with the fight, I gotta Google the motherfucker. You know, so it's it's hard. You know, you got 55. This is a stack. You know, it ain't like 205. It ain't like heavyweight where you win
Nah,
1 or
nah.
2 and you in a title shot. You know,
Yeah.
it's a fucking hard division unless you can talk that shit, unless you can bring in some money. So
It's a combination,
you know.
talk
Yeah.
and obviously performance, man. That's
Yeah.
that's a big.
Talking about 155, Conor won the belt last week. What do you think that does for the division and bring more eyes onto it pretty much?
Man, I don't know.
What do you think of Conor jumping the queue and
Originally, like, I was fucking pissed off about that fight.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie embarrassed the whole division. You know, if I ever see Eddie, I'll slap the fuck out of him for it. He embarrassed us all. You know, why did he come out with that game plan like that? You know, he fought Conor the exact way Conor wants you to fight him. And I mean, Conor put it on. You know, he pretty much told you how you gonna fight. You know, why come out and do that? I don't know. Why lead with power strikes against because Conor's got good timing. You know, I think a lot of these guys they just don't be real with themselves. You know, they lie to themselves and they say, okay, well, he's a good counter puncher, but I can be better. You know, I can still get off first. You know, I can still do this. Like, no, you have to be smart about it. You know, you have to. If he's a good counter puncher, history has shown how to beat those type of guys. You know, feint them out or crowd the punches. You know, you got one or the other. You don't sit there and try and trade power strikes with him. You're gonna lose. So Eddie embarrasses us all. It really slows down 55 because I think he's gonna fucking dodge the shit out of Tony. I think they do Tony and Khabib. Tony beats the fuck out of Khabib, and then Conor's gonna. I don't think Conor's gonna do Tony until Tony loses or loses a step or something. You know.
I see Conor and Nate doing it again next.
Yeah.
UFC
yeah.
209 makes sense.
Yeah.
Just the,
Yeah.
it just rings.
'cause
It
it's
just
209,
works.
you
It
know,
just
yeah.
works.
But then I see Conor. If he's successful in there, I see even Woodley coming next.
But there's talks of Woodley before it as well. Like even
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
know.
it's-
I don't know.
it's-
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard one. I don't think he wants Woodley though. He might. He stands a better chance. I'll say this: he stands a better chance versus Woodley than Tony Ferguson
I think so.
right out the gate, and he's got less to lose versus Woodley. You know, because if he loses, he's like, fuck
the
it.
big guy,
I got 2 belts already. You know
Yeah.
why? You know which
and
one do
he
y'all
goes
want?
back and the gold's still there. Like,
Yeah.
You know, whereas if he loses to
To
Ferguson,
Tony, and then
and I don't see him going back to 145.
yeah, nah, me either.
That's-
You know, he can make the weight. You know,
But it's at what cost?
why? Yeah.
Yeah, why need to? Don't need to.
Why make
the bigger
weight
fights, I
if
think,
you
are
need to?
155 now. The names that are in the 155 division that you've
Yeah,
got there, and that
absolutely.
top 10 alone.
Yeah.
Like you could even talk Donaldson Cerrone back to
Oh,
155.
man. Yeah, they
and
have a
fight
hell of
him.
a fight,
You
too,
could
you know?
totally do that, man.
So,
The
you know-
smack talk.
But everyone's talking about 155 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that attention is coming there.
And this is the
It's
best
good,
division
and it's
too.
great for-
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's great for you this weekend, yeah. Like you're the first weekend after
Yeah.
that event, so 155.
Yeah,
bang,
yeah,
it's-
and in Ireland, you know.
Yeah,
So you
so-
know, I gotta talk some shit to
and
these
he-
Irish
he might
fans out
even
here.
be- Conor
You know,
might be-
you know, I gotta do it.
Conor might be there, man. Conor might be
I gotta
there.
do it. When they put when Dan Hardy puts the mic in my face, I gotta say something about him. You know, I'm just worried that they won't give me my $50,000 bonus. That's the only thing.
you
You
gotta
know,
go
if
out
I
there.
if I say fuck Ireland, are they gonna give me that bonus?
Yeah, well,
I don't think so, bro.
Last time I checked, the UFC wasn't owned by Ireland. So
Yeah,
Well, not
yeah,
yet.
you know.
Not
Maybe,
yet.
maybe that shit
apparently
don't
they're
fly
after
with.
shares.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Hopefully they don't. You know, they try and screw me out of the
But you
bonus
are,
every time.
you are talking about a different part of Ireland, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to hate on that too much.
If you say fuck Ireland, they probably will.
Oh yeah, no, they will. Yeah, no, they will. But I don't give a fuck about Ireland. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about the UFC. If the UFC won't, you know, give me that bonus or you know.
You shouldn't care about. I suppose you don't care about the USA after Trump got in. You probably stay here now.
I think you're going to go back there, it's going to be empty.
We'll be Canadians. Everyone's gonna have a little moustache and a Mexico with a hat on.
Apparently it's like The Walking Dead, like, and everyone's climbing over the walls again.
Yeah, I'm going straight.
Canada and Mexico, everyone's going to, like,
I'm fucking going straight to Canada, but it's too goddamn cold.
Yeah,
I
for
don't know
us,
how
for
long
us,
I'm gonna
for us.
stay.
Give me one of those
Fuck
regions.
that.
freedom.
Fuck that. It's too damn goddamn cold in Canada. In Mexico, I don't. You know, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
So fuck that
I'm
too.
looking forward to see what he does first. That's almost like a series in itself.
I'm staying in the middle of the country where we don't get bombed. You know, I'm moving straight to fuck nowhere, Kansas. You know, just in case they
last
hit
time
New
I saw
York,
Kansas on TV,
California.
That house got blown off to blooming
I
somewhere.
know.
Yeah,
Strong
good
winds
point,
there,
good
man.
point.
Strong winds.
That's
Yeah,
wizards,
but you get-
lions, and all sorts of weird shit.
I'm going to no public events, you know, no shopping malls, none of that.
It is
Fuck
The
that
Walking Dead,
until
isn't it?
this
That's what it
shit
is.
die
You're
down.
going to The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's the best way to be.
Loads of
Yeah.
guns though out there. Yeah.
What's that?
Loads of guns out there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I may move to Texas, you know, where they can strap up pretty good.
Yeah,
So
as soon as you're born, you get one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. There you go. That's your present. That's your newborn baby's present. Yeah. You can carry that with them till the day they die.
See, you guys did it right. You in an island in between.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. We
two of
got
the
our
most
own
hated
laws.
countries
yeah,
ever.
our own laws, own government,
Their own laws.
longest running government in the world.
In the
Oh,
UK.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, in the UK you can't have handguns.
We
Isle
can-
of Man, it's no problem.
We can have
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta get a license.
Well, then swim across and take over them motherfuckers. What
Well,
you waiting on?
Oh no,
Come on, I'm losing some respect
We
here.
don't tell everyone, so
we
keep
don't.
it
So
secret.
we keep secret, so no one comes to us. We just like.
They think we just have motorbikes and that's it.
Yeah, we got- we got-
Watch the motorbikes and fuck off.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't.
It
we
could be
don't.
one of y'all
Yeah,
versus
we don't.
100 of them, and y'all got a handgun. You know.
it does
Hey,
rain though as well.
swim across that bitch.
Yeah, we don't get snow. We get a good
It rains.
slush.
And we have dodgy women out there.
Oh yeah.
You ever been bear hunting?
Have I ever been bear hunting?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Do
Oh,
it
yeah,
look
that's
I
like the
bear
women.
hunt?
That's like the women.
That's
though.
what they
Oh, that's the women.
Yeah, date night. Yeah, you're trying to
Yeah.
wrestle a bear off you.
Yeah, you shave a bear. Sometimes you don't even have to shave it.
Yeah.
That's why they so ugly
Yeah,
out there. You know,
yeah.
all them recessive genes. I guess that's part of being an island, though. Y'all got a small gene pool, a lot of
Kind of
ugly
like, you
people.
sometimes you got to go off and hunt elsewhere, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with
Before
you.
the place gets over hunted.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why you bring in a
We
couple
spread the
foreigners.
genes.
You know, y'all got a big airport. At least you can bring in some foreigners. You know,
Big
bring in
airport.
some-
I would say big. It's
You have
got
to take
one
off
runway
from
and one way.
Actually, I'm fighting this kid from Russia. You know, bring in some mail order brides from Dagestan.
Yeah, man,
They
should
need
do
the
that.
money.
Well, EFN, the promotion EFN, their walkouts are crazy. You can have a load of them walking in on the stage, man. That'd be awesome. That'd be great, that. Kevin Lee, man, I'm going to let you get going 'cause I know you've got chill out
Yeah,
time, you got
thank
weight
you.
on, you
And
got...
got-
You might
I
get
think
some
you
yogurt.
just
nearly
I didn't
ready.
eat shit.
Yeah, we
I
can
ain't
eat
eat shit
yogurt
all
too,
day.
man.
It's almost 2 o'clock.
Yogurt might be ready, though.
Did you say when
Just milk the cow.
You know what it is? It's because they
Still
don't.
milk.
I swear to God, it's because they don't tip here. You know, I asked a lady. I was in a restaurant and I said, "How does the tipping system work?" And they don't tip.
Yeah.
So
No.
you know, I sat there for 45 minutes. The lady ain't
I'm
brought
going to give
me
her a
shit.
tip.
I can't. I can't. Not. I'm just not gonna pay the bill.
I'll give you a tip.
I'm just gonna walk
Yeah.
away.
Don't wipe your ass with broken glass. It's a good tip, that. It's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. Tip there.
I'll write my tip on a receipt. You know?
Yeah, it's a good one.
But
Kevin Lee.
appreciate it, my man.
Absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank
It's been
you.
a joy
As
speaking to
always.
you. Have a great time.
As always, brother.
Fantastic fight, man.
Thank you. Thank you.